So if we can work towards that, if we can show other families that it's possible and that you can still raise a loving family, you can still be present with them, you can still earn money, you can still have money working for you in the background as investment, I believe that we can be a decent human being in that aspect and we can raise good children and other families can do the same.
Money isn't the root of all evil, the fucking lack of it is.
Not money, the lack of understanding money.
When I put that into emphasis, when I realised that psychological effect and how it hit our family, I FTB all the fucking way.
You are now watching the Money Mentor podcast.
3 years ago, the bank said no. Adam was in a bad headspace. Shanai was labelled a liability. They had 15 bank accounts, 2 credit cards, and underperforming investment properties. Then they stopped playing the wrong game and started following a real plan. And it all started in February 2023 when they found Infinity. They joined their finances, simplified everything, offloaded underperforming properties, restructured their self-managed super fund. Since then, they've added 6 investment properties and now have 9 properties in total. They have a clear strategy, a future that finally makes sense. And this year, while away with the Infinity team, they got married on Necker Island by Sir Richard Branson. Adam and Shanai. Their incredible story starts now.
Welcome back to another episode of The Money Mentor and 2 very special guests. About 12, 13 months on, it's been just over a year since their last chat with us. Welcome to Adam and Shanai. How are we?
Very
Good.
well.
Thank you. For
Welcome
having
back.
us again.
Yes, yeah.
Back in the hot seat.
A bit different
Oh, yeah.
with these fancy couches.
Yeah, how would we have the leather chairs last time? Yeah, it's a bit
did.
more comfy. Although, I don't know about the ball situation on the couch, but anyway. Welcome back.
Big balls never hurt.
Yeah. Well, they come in all shapes and sizes, so, you know. Where should we start? So, for anyone who, I guess, hasn't heard of you, I mean, all of our community will obviously know who you are. You speak and share at a lot of events. You're very giving with your time. Actually, let's start with that. Why are you guys so giving of your time back to the community or podcasts or events? Why are you so open and honest about your journey?
I would say we've seen the results. We've seen what can happen when you don't do it for self-interest, but you do it for others. And I've found that the Infinity and the community and yourselves are genuinely in a position where you want others to be seen. And when someone feels seen, they feel a part of something. And when they do feel that, there's that sense of belonging. And so coming into the community, we come on board and we immediately felt that embrace. We felt open. We felt like this could be something that we're a part of and a part of bigger than ourselves. And in Australia with a tall poppy syndrome, it is very hard to get in front and everyone wants to rip you down. So when you actually have people around you that go, I see you struggling and we can help you, we're a part of that product that's what happened to us. And now we see the value of that and go, we want others to be seen. We give up our time for that because we see the value of other families succeeding.
Well said. You're right. You nailed it. You'll never, ever, ever meet a hater doing better than you. People only hate from below. And I see people, these videos, this person's done it. Good luck, Chuck. Like if you're really good at something, go change someone's life, go help them. So it's really nice that you guys felt that sense of community and embrace to bounce questions off people and to ask for guidance and how did you do this and that. That it sounds like what you benefited from, you're now sort of, I guess, passing it forward or giving it, pushing it forward. So well done. Is there a bit of a sick sense of fulfillment in that when you're helping other people overcome their own bullshit or helping them pick themselves up off the ground?
Definitely. A lot of light bulb moments, I would say, when you see them and they click and they actually have that sort of the emotional moment and you get the hairs that stand up on your arms because they've just gone, oh, holy, it's like a weight off their shoulders.
Yeah.
And so you get this feeling of gratitude and that you were actually able to contribute to that you were able to see in them what everyone else sees, that now they see in themselves, that it is possible for them to get ahead.
I think it's cool too at REMS, like, having chats with people on the Thursday, Friday, and, there's a bit of
Everyone comes
nerves
in
and
with Schwinterpucker and they're like this with a
they
drink
have
and they're like, oh.
no idea what to expect, and then we
A couple of days later, they're
try and
half
chase
naked
them
on
up.
stage in a bloody dance
In
competition.
a mankini.
In a mankini.
Yeah, it's so cool to see that. Like they've just come out of their shell and they're so
Yeah.
comfortable, and that's really inspiring for us to see that change in people.
I love it. Well, appreciate you being so giving me your time. We'll go back. So anyone who doesn't know how to change, December 2024, there is definitely another podcast. There's probably a couple actually, but there's one about just over a year or so ago. So definitely go have a listen to that first. But to put some background to that, because you're very giving with your time to everyone, we appreciate it. Just give everyone a little bit of context again, obviously, if they haven't heard that episode and they're not part of our community, who you are, how you found us, what things were like financially and where they are today. Let's give them a bit of a helicopter view, maybe.
So we were struggling. Mentally, I was in a difficult place. I'd lost my mum and brother to suicide. I'd been through a series of court cases that come off the back of that. And I could function in a work environment. I just couldn't function personally. The relationship, we were strong, but we weren't rowing in the same direction. Do you know what I mean? We didn't have the same dinner conversations. We weren't talking finances. There was just a lot of burden on me. And we saw the David Goggins event, obviously big admiration to him. And so I said to Shanai, like, as something that we can do together, can we go to this? Let's stop buying ourselves these useless gifts, but let's buy ourselves something that we can both grow out of, and let's see if this will actually help steer us in the right direction. And so we went to Goggins in Feb 23, and that was where we saw you on stage. And you called out all the bullshit. Like, who thinks cash is king? And that was my hand up at that there, and it was cash is trash, offsets. And I remember Shanai even poking me. She's like, oh my God, offsets. I was like, he's finally said offsets. I was like, they're fucking shit. They're bullshit. You know, unaudited, fucking anyway. And we went through it and thought, wow, it felt like that personal. I just felt as though the crowd separated, and it was like you were reading me all the facts and all the bullshits that I believed, and they were the things that were keeping us stuck.
That's not easy. So the average person listens to a lot of stuff we teach, right? Like thousands of, and there's too much ego and front and pride to go, I could possibly be wrong. Like we talk about the offset thing, right?
Yeah.
It's all over my site. ASIC's doing a big investigation right now, and including some of the major banks, again, for not linking them. I get hundreds of messages. Hey, thanks for your content. I did an audit. The bank ripped me off. I'm getting my money back, like thousands of dollars, right? It's not easy to sit there and go, almost feel personally attacked. I mean, there's thousands in a room. Almost feel like I'm like having a crack at you, and Shanae's now poking. And she's like, see.
Yeah.
Talk us through that, because for the average man or woman, it's not easy to sit there and go, oh, this fat little fuck on stage, what would he know? Why were you so, or is that in your nature, or just for some reason that day, why, is it in your nature, or why did you decide to open up and go, oh, this makes, or it just made sense?
Yeah. I'm highly attuned to pattern recognition, personally, with work and everything, and as a human nature. And when you actually laid it out, it was simple and it was mathematically correct. So it was the fact that what you were saying was correct. It was simplified enough that I understood it and just thought, I'm a fucking idiot. And when I realised that,
I don't know, haven't you got a couple of university degrees?
Hey, that's all right. You know, theory only goes as far as when the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, okay.
It's, as you said, theory, what you were taught institutionally, and then realising, like, in the light bulb moment of how much trauma association was around money and the psychology of money. That was the big wake-up call. It was halfway through there when you actually said, guys, once you cut your emotional ties and you understand the psychology of money and you use it as a tool and the maths doesn't lie, like, the crowd went silent for me.
Right.
And we actually sat there with our like bank accounts open while you're still talking, like looking at all of our like travel funds and like for sick, when we're sick, I don't know, we had all these accounts, like over 15 accounts of money. You had one saving up for a telescope.
Yeah, telescope account.
Yeah, what did we have? Like over $250,000.
Sounds like we had to put, not even a telescope, we might have put a microscope on the finances.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we realized that all that money in all those accounts was doing nothing. Absolutely nothing when you could actually put it all together.
So everything was
finances.
pretty logical, and it obviously, because I speak in a very blunt, direct manner for everything I do.
Yep.
It's not confusing. It's not gimmick. This is how it is, and if you don't like it, don't fucking try it. But if you do it, why do we see 500-600 people ate last year all share videos of champagne bottles popping in front of their home because they've got no debt. I don't know any other company that has that. So if it's simple and easy to understand, but it still would have been hard to overcome. I mean, you're there poking him and you're opening accounts. Still wouldn't have been easy.
It wasn't easy, difficult. We did make the decision to commit then, and that was when we have the running joke with the cherries that we were fighting each other over the barriers to get to the counter.
Well, I didn't do a sales pitch either because I remember
nothing.
everyone was off it that day. They were chanting for Goggins. I think everyone thought it was all day with David Goggins, right? And by the time I come out, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. So I think at the end it was like I had some real people on stage, which you would have seen.
Yeah.
There was the Megans and Jeremys and Craigs and Kims and that. But I'm like, you know what? You guys are sick of being fucking sold to. If you think I can help you, go outside and find someone in the fucking red shirt, blue shirt, whatever. And it was interesting because a lot of people went and did that. They're like, hey, how do I sign up? How do I get help? So
and they were the first people.
sometimes
we spoke
no
to.
sell is the best sell.
Yeah. Yep. And as you always say, let the results speak for themselves. And we went and found Megan and Jeremy. They were the first few people that we'd spoke to when we signed up. And they were big aspirations for us. We admired the way they'd done it, how they'd done it, the stories they shared. We looked up on YouTube, looked at their videos, and we're like, wow.
Okay. Very good.
The 16 articles that were written, like, we were like, this is incredible. Like,
they're lovely
they're
and
beautiful
couple.
human
They work
beings.
here now.
Yeah.
So jumping forward, a fair bit of trauma from money, lost mother, brother, thought you were doing okay financially, court cases, all sorts of stuff, and everyone can go listen to this prior episode in December 24. Where to from there? So helicopter view then, existing assets, what did we do financially from there?
Wow. We started to sell off some old dogs.
Yeah.
We looked to put them on the market. We did our REM, masterclass REM. We were straight in. 3 weeks, we hit the ground running. We bought 2 at our first. We didn't even know that we were going to be buying. We thought it was an education event. We come away for the education and we were pumped, and they're like, oh no, we've actually got these for you. So what the fuck? Shanai was like, you can sell it. Did we just buy 2?
Yeah, I actually hadn't signed up like at Goggins. It was just Adam, and then it was maybe like a few weeks.
You come for the free bar tab.
Yeah, a few weeks before, Rem was like, oh, by the way, we've got to do this thing together, and we're going to the Gold Coast. And I was like, okay, cool, that sounds like fun. I had no idea that we were in the position to buy together because the banks had told me.
We touched on this in the previous potty together, right? So you had been into the bank together.
Yeah.
And what did they say?
So I went in to get a loan because I was like, oh, I'll do the investment thing because Adam was doing the investment thing. And they said, oh, like, there's not really much we can do for you. And we said, oh, what if we like joint our accounts and like bought something together and
use both our incomes.
Yeah, use both our incomes. And they actually said, no, like, you'll fuck Adam's borrowing capacity. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Couldn't even buy a 10 on a block.
Jeez, your liability.
Yeah. So then going like fast forwarding to our first REM where they sat us down and said, oh, these are the 2 we've got for you. I was like,
if you join resources, as you say, you share bodily fluids, but you don't join bank accounts.
Doesn't make sense.
That was us. If you join, you can purchase this today. Nothing changed. Like there was no inheritance, no money change. Was same job, same everything. Just 6 months difference in time and finding the right people that can do it for you.
Different experts. Yep. Different perspective.
Yep. And so that's
and in the same sit in the same boat, row the same boat at the same time, same direction.
Yep. Okay. And that was what started what we could see was possible.
Okay.
And then we made it a bit of a gamification once we got our budget. How can we set this up? How can we get our budget down? We convoluted the fuck out of it at the start. You got this here, I'm like, we're going to need 20 for this, 30 for that, or what about 15 a week for that? And we had the money coach back then. They come and said, yes, I've just overcomplicated the fuck of it. This is what you're going to get. This is what we start with because you'll need that fixed. And here's your salary and bills, and here's your weekly. And then we realized we can make a game out of this. And if we go harder and we reduce between our need and our wants, if we can separate the two and go, this is what we need to get through, these wants we don't need now, the delayed gratification, we can go back to REM. So we brought our budget down in the first few months from 600 to 400 to increase serviceability to get us back to REM by the end of the year.
So you dropped from 600 a week for your food, fuel and fun,
yep,
all the way down to 400.
We did 600 to 500 because we're like, oh, after the first 2 properties, we're like, oh, so if we can save more money, we can buy more properties. That's cool. So we dropped it to 500 and then...
So you're trying to increase your serviceability by decreasing your outgoings.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we just did that again. So like, can we drop it another 100? And we dropped it another 100, but we've actually just dropped it again.
We're at 380
to 380.
now. 380.
Damn.
Small adjustment, but
Okay.
Yeah, when we're starting to get that fine, we want the micro tuning.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And still living comfortably?
yeah.
Yep. Still living comfortably.
Okay.
I mean,
how many
still
properties are you
protein.
up to now?
We're at 9 properties in total now. Yep.
Okay.
Just made
Which
our
is crazy.
our biggest purchase
Yeah.
December. Yeah, so
December.
last month.
Okay.
Yeah. Anthony
that's-
rang us and was like, "Have I got a deal for you? We
It's-
can do this.
So
we
you're
can get it."
constantly working with the team,
Yeah.
constantly reviewing your borrowing capacity. So is it fair to say that you guys are never ever ever sitting on dormant equity or dormant cash? So you're really working hard, really hustling, fine tuning your budgets, and you're making sure that the day the computer says you can borrow, or the team, but the computer, the
Yep.
bank's computer. Okay, if you get to X, you're in a position to transact again.
Yeah.
Or if you sell that old dog, you're able to buy 2. So
Yeah.
is it safe to say you guys are, you really, it's like the big ass calendar. I don't know if you've seen those, look at the big ass calendars from Jesse all over the place. It's almost like you guys have mapped it out and you're like, right, we're going to do this, and on this date, we should be in a position to have capacity to go again. Is that what's going on?
Definitely. Every dollar has a purpose, and we're actually just down there yesterday sorting it out and fine tuning everything with Anthony, because we have a settlement coming up. We have one that we've obviously just put the deposit for down. We've got formal financing coming through, and so every time we do that,
So
we
you've got one that's about to settle,
Yep.
and you've got another one you've just
Put a
paid
deposit.
the deposit and getting the loan approved for now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yep.
And we're constantly turning that over, and then we do, right, what do we need for tax? But we've got this is our buffer amount.
Yep.
Once we get that formal done, he does our numbers again, has a look and goes, right, this is what we expect will be the flow over money. This is what we've got left. What do we need for this pool of fund? Where do we need to put it? Or how much short are we, and what do we need to do? So we always get that constant feedback, and we dialogue with our team to go, right, if you can increase, get 2 more, like last year, Anthony said to you, if you can get like 3 more clients, or if you can just tweak it here, or can you get 2 part-times and get rid of this?
So you're really working on
adjusting.
being self-employed, working on, okay, how many hours am I working? What revenue am I producing? What are my expenses? So you're getting quite, wouldn't even say granular. It's granular, but it's not. It's like, okay, if I pick up an extra 5 customers a week or 1 a day, that's a big difference at the end
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that compounding comes in, and he goes, if we can work out another $8,000, we reckon by 9 months' time at this here, accumulate it up,
Yep.
you'll be in a position to go again. And so they're where our
So
little
you guys
goals
are
come
treating
in.
this like a sport.
Yeah.
You're really mapping out your seasons.
Yep.
Okay. Why not, got your home, paying it off. Why not just buy an investment or 2, or buy some shares or some crypto or a house or a unit, and then why not just stop and just wait?
I think for us, a big thing is like being able to give back, and like seeing you talk about your why, like that's really inspired us to really like fine tune ours. So like, we've got family that we'd love to help in certain ways. So if you've only got the 1 property and 1 investment, you can't really do that. So for us, it's not really about creating wealth for us,
Yeah.
but it's for the other people that we love.
So you're trying to build something a bit bigger for yourselves as a couple, but to be able to support the
Yeah.
greater family around. Because there's the flip side where people are like, no one needs 8 houses, 9 houses, whatever. But then, like, all of our family and friends need a home or somewhere to live. So if you're logical about that dribble and that rhetoric, well, if you're trying to help accommodate, house, or provide income for your greater family, if they can't, that's a lovely bloody gesture.
Yeah.
And it flows on from there as well as providing a community service to those that need a house. And we only had this with the recent one that we settled on our jewel lock. And it was a young family moved in. And we got contacted by the agent when it settled, and they said, hey, we just want to put this to you. Here's a tenant. They're very young, new family. Parents would have to guarantor on this, but they've been struggling, and they can't stay at home. They need to move out, and they want some independence.
Right.
They can't afford a house, but with a jewel lock, they were able to rent
the
the
unit.
apartment
Yeah.
side. Would you be happy if the parents went on there? And they actually sent an email back in because they rang the agent crying because they'd been rejected like 5 or 6 times. They couldn't get a house. And
They just
we were
needed
that
some-
buffer that provided that service and said yes.
They needed someone to show a bit of compassion
Yep.
and give them a chance.
And no one did.
And it could go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
In this case, touch wood, it continues to go right.
And they're beautiful tenants. It's immaculate. The inspections have come back. But it was that service that we were able to, we paid it forward, we shared it. And this is why in a position where we have the investments, but we're able to give back to others and give people an opportunity for them to have a step up.
We are taking all the risk, but they're
Yeah.
getting the opportunity. So hopefully then you get the reward over time
Yeah.
as well. So, okay. What's the toughest thing, actually, where we are now to where we were pre-Goggins? Life harder or easier?
Oh,
So much easier.
Easier.
Okay.
I'm a lover of life. I was before, but wow, it's incredible.
So most people would say you spend living off $600 a week after you pay, food, fuel, and fun. Then you drop to $5, then you drop to $4. Now you're saying $380. Most people would say you guys have actually become Scrooge McDuck, and it sounds like it's really complicated and really hard to manage. But I'm hearing it's actually easier, and you're living a much better life.
Yeah. I mean, budgeting has negative connotations to it. But budgeting is you set up your day. You know what you do when you go to work. You know how you go to work, what your day looks like. Budgeting is the same. What do you need for the week? So rather than just not having a plan and tapping and doing senseless things with it, you actually now have a structure, have a routine, and that consistency will drive the results.
So what's the end goal for you guys? Where do you want to be? You obviously want to help family by the sounds of it. What's the end goal for you guys? What are you heading towards, do you think? Or do you know?
I think it's changing so much because we're still young. So to kind of see that far.
Share
in
for
the
everyone at
future.
home how old you guys are.
35.
28.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 35 and 28, big portfolio behind you. So you're trying to help family, but you are very young to be where we are today. It's a phenomenal position. What are you hoping obviously if it changes rapidly, but what are you hoping it looks like one day?
We'd like to be up Queensland
Yeah.
and established in a sense that we want to be able to give back more to people. One thing that we both agree on is that we hate suffering, and we see so much suffering, and I mean the senseless in the trauma suffering. And Shanai, with her fitness and her nutrition, she helps incredible people with that. And I obviously am second year psychology student. I've gone on to do the further studies, and so we would like to be in a position where that road takes us, and obviously clients of infinity, and we would like to see where we can actually produce the biggest personal excellence for us. We want to hit our potential, and we want to create a life where we can give back to others as much and as meaningful as possible, because trauma's everywhere. I mean, pain is optional, but suffering shouldn't be for everyone. We shouldn't be suffering in a senseless way. You suffer to grow, but the pain and suffering that people are struggling with today, the way they live, poverty, everything.
Pretty much, even people that people don't think are suffering trauma and pain, pretty much everyone's getting out of bed every single day and going through some sort of traumatic experience, or still attached to it, or reliving it. They just don't share it. You just don't know what other people are going through.
And when you see behind that curtain, you can see those areas where we would like to help, and we'd really love to be in a position where we can help others do that and live a life of their potential, live life on their terms. And so that's where we're guided. It's something that we're purposefully driven for, that is to help as many people as we can. Yep.
Love it, love it. I wanted to start with, you guys were fortunate enough, been around for a couple of years now, to join us with a core group of clients in the USA. What was that experience like as we launched in the US, to be able to come and share, or watch the presentations obviously, and share that information and education? But what was that like to be able to interact with American families and listen to their pain points and wins and traumas and successes? What was that experience like? How did you find the Americans?
Firstly, like when we got the phone call that we were invited to come to America, I literally cried so much. So just very grateful for the opportunity. But yeah, it was really interesting to see where their mindset was at
Yep.
with everything. And I'm still trying to understand the lingo and stuff. So if I get something wrong, let me know.
Yeah,
But,
we're very different frameworks and stuff like that. So that's okay.
so, like, I believe they pretty much just have like a 2% fixed interest rate for like 30 years.
Yep.
And that's all they've ever known. So seeing them like at the start, obviously very hesitant because you're kind of telling them to come out of that fixed to a higher.
Most of them are, whether it's 2, 3, whatever year it was, they just fix and just pay the minimum. And then their intention is to invest their income, but they just spend everything else they earn.
Yeah, but then seeing that like switch for them when you go, oh, you can come out of it at a higher percent, but if you pay it off quicker, you actually save X amount more money. And they go, well, which is the same as in Australia, but I guess for them, I think that's maybe where they're a little bit stuck. But seeing that change and being able to talk to them after, they go, like, how does that work? And they get the calculator
they
out.
actually have the
They
product.
have
They
the
have the
product
first lien
already.
HELOC there,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They have that home equity line of credit that they can apply for once, pay it down, use it, pay it down. They actually here, we have to create them. We have to do white label lending and get banks to create products for us and put our brand on it. Like, so that would have been an interesting experience to watch oh no, we just, do this and pay it down and blah, 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 like, and then all of a sudden they sort of, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You could see, and you could see the change, because I guess maybe that's like the narrative that was pushed. Yeah, this is what the institution wants you to get, and they want you on that 30-year or however it is, lock it in.
40 or 50 nearly over there now.
I've seen, and that's all they know. Whereas when you started to show them, and you could see you could just see the tension in the face change and the smiles. It's almost like, wow, I start to see or feel the liberation of what you're saying is connecting. And then when you show the time frames and go, these are products created, and here's the people that have paid that off and they've been able to achieve this, you could see the relation of where they're going, I could actually be that person. They start to do the maths of what their salary is and what they're paying, and you're telling me in 6 or 7 years that I could, get out of this here and do the lean HELOC. We can save a lot more. I can pay the house off. I can get 2 or 3. That was cool, because as soon as when you said,
You guys got peppered a bit by them at the end. I was like, finished talking. I was like, woof. You know what I mean?
Spend some time and catch up. It was just, we all just blended in and mingled, and it was amazing to hear, but it was amazing to see how.
Did that give them comfort, do you think, that they were able to talk to real people who'd gone through that process of, okay, like I've got a different product that was a bit foreign to me, but I get it now, I've operated, and now here I am today with 8, 9 properties. Like, do you think that gives them some comfort because they're able to pick your brain and work through that together?
Absolutely.
Definitely. And because of the demographic of everyone, there was us, there was younger, there was Oscar, they were able to see, so all different people, it wasn't like, oh, you got there because of A, B, C. That's right. It was like, wow, this works across the board because it's the formula and it's the maths.
Yeah.
So that's what I really found enjoyment with that. And as you know, they're very patriotic. Like they all get around you once that happens.
It's interesting that people say tall poppy's bad. I don't think it is. Like, from my experiences, it's horrific in Australia.
Yeah.
Australia and New Zealand, it's horrific. But over there, the Americans are very very passionate.
Yeah.
Once they know something to be true, or once they believe it to be true, they are so passionate. Like, whether it's politics, whether it's religion, whatever it may be, sport, well, you don't want to say the wrong team of some of the sport, but they're such passionate, patriotic people, right? Yeah. And it's good to see that, because when you can enlighten someone and educate them, like you guys, right? Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee
it. There's just so many people globally in the industries that they know, but they're just flogging products, selling shit. But once you see, you can't unsee it. So I think it was really enlightening for me to watch then afterwards, to watch and just let everyone talk and to see you guys interact with them each day. It's pretty cool. It's pretty special. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen as we launch these products and business in the US? What do you think is going to happen for families there?
I believe that their lives will change. They will see it, and the maths won't lie. I said it'll be a quick sprouting seed that turns into a flower, because just in that room alone, and you go, if these people that we've had that interaction with on a brief interaction, if they start to see this and go to their friends and their family, I really think it'll be like a snowball effect. People will actually go, wow, there is another way. We've had the product the whole time. And once their eyes light up and once they actually see it working, there'll be no containing it.
I love that. Well, we're going to have to get you guys back at some point, work schedules permitting. I think it'd be really good to get you over so that a lot of the families that are first interacting with us on their journey with Infinity can actually poke and prod you at events and meet you as well. So I think that would be pretty cool. Even if different countries, but same process, similar systems, same outcomes. So we'll definitely have to get you back over to the US so they can poke and prod and meet you guys. So
looking forward to
but
it.
appreciate you guys coming and sharing for the US. It's really, really helpful to everyone. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, I want to jump back to Australia for a second. 9 properties, multiple studies, degrees, nutritions, businesses, psychologies, all sorts of stuff going on here. You mentioned you want to get to Queensland. Why Queensland?
It's just a lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Bit more.
Victoria? What's right with it at the
There's
moment?
Well, the people are happier up here, and we have a lot more friends up this way and tighter community. And I would say that Infinity gifted us that as part of it, because we feel the embrace of being a part of that. We have so many close connections that we ring, we chat, we talk to.
So you got
all throughout the
feel like
week.
you got a bigger community.
Yeah.
Here.
A
It's
bigger
really
home
sad.
base.
Okay, because it's sad for Melbourne at the moment. I mean, and look, every market's independent of each other. I'm down there later this week to actually go through 3 or 4 units that have just getting keys that have settled. And it's weird. It's just had a really, really bad run.
Yeah.
But again, Sydney had a bad run a couple of years ago. Queensland had a bad run from they're all different strokes for different folks. But what I'm hearing is the main thing for you guys is you're feeling excuse me, you're feeling a really strong sense of community in Queensland.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Bit more laid back.
Laid back, better lifestyle, and I would say we feel as though we belong up in Queensland.
Okay. Interesting. That mean maybe new jobs or businesses or all
New
sorts
opportunities.
of weird and wonderful stuff. Okay. And have you put a timeline on that? You think like in 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 6 minutes?
In under 5.
Under 5 years?
Under 5,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And what are you hoping to be able to do for family? So you're operating a budget. People think, oh, you're on a diet. We're not really. You're just being practical. You know what money goes here, what money goes. What is it that you hope in the perfect world you'll be able to provide for each other? If you guys want to have a family one day, if you for your existing family, what are you hoping that the end picture looks like? Have you thought about that much?
Definitely for like when we're ready to start having kids and building our family, it'd be nicer for us to be able to step back from work a little bit to raise them.
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the reasons why Infinity is great for us, because it's helping us build that wealth for when that time comes.
And I would have to agree that stepping back, but spending the time to be able to teach them the right way to do stuff. I don't want to be subbing them out to a nanny, or I don't want to be running around the clock on a hamster wheel. I get there's going to be parental duties that are musts, but I really think that the human connection that is required by loving parents to be able to raise their kids and spend the time, it is critical to their growth. And we don't want them to suffer through some of the hardships that we have or our families have. I use all the time that money can't buy happiness, but fucking poverty can't buy shit. And I don't want them to be in a place of having to wonder where all those things come from and why have mum and dad never home? Why are they coming home at 10 o'clock but they're gone by 4 a.m.? I don't want that. So if we can work towards that, if we can show other families that it's possible and that you can still raise a loving family, you can still be present with them, you can still earn money, you can still have money working for you in the background as investment, I believe that we can be a decent human being in that aspect, and we can raise good children, and other families can do the same.
I love it. I've been around a lot of, through the holiday season, been around a lot of family and friends and stuff, and I tell you what, there is a stark difference between parenting styles in Australia right now and globally. There's the iPad parent or the phone parent, and the kid just does whatever they want and yells and screams and carries on, and parents just roll their eyes and ignore them and crack another beer or wine. And then I see children that are introduce themselves, hello Graeme, or hello Auntie Beck and Uncle Gray, and that are extremely well-mannered and polite, and excuse me, mum and dad, there's such a difference. And I think it's going to be scary in the future about the difference between children and education and business and life and health and wealth, because the masses, it tends to be knock off work and crack a coldie or a glass of vino and drink your problems away, and the kids just fend for themselves as opposed to parenting. So I like that that aspiration and that goal to be super present and be involved. Like I said, not just hand them off to a nanny, or be involved in the things that matter. I really like that. It's a good one. It's a goodie. Speaking of family, you guys actually had a bit of a mock wedding recently.
Oof. Spectacular.
We did.
We did the potty in December 24.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was my birthday. It was April 25.
Yes.
April 25. Adam, you just had spinal surgery, back surgery.
Yep. I had major spine surgery 6 weeks prior.
Yeah. And then you guys came to Necker Island
Yeah.
with a big group of clients and team members and business associates, and we did a week with Sir Richard Branson, and very sadly, even Joan, who's sadly passed recently, which is horrific. But you guys did that. You were able to fly somehow.
Yep.
And
Barely.
yeah. And then you popped the question and dropped a knee and proposed on Necker Island.
We did.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said yes, obviously.
Yes, I said yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's a little sparkle. Wow, definitely wasn't expecting that one, that's for sure. Now
tell you-
looking back, I'm like, oh, there was all these signs.
There was cues along the way.
Take this white dress and we're having white night.
Yes. Yeah, white themed. And then at the airport, because my bag got flagged and I had the ring in there, and they're like, we would like to check this. I'm like, because I couldn't put it in Shanai, because I couldn't carry luggage.
So I packed all the
So
suitcases.
Shanai had to pack
and-
everything.
And
So
then
where
you
do
had
you
to-
hide something that's within her responsibility?
Because of your
that she
back
can't-
at the time,
Yes.
yeah, because you're pretty fragile.
So then I made this whole construct about why I need my headset on the plane to listen, that the audio jacks don't even fit the aeroplane ones. Shanai didn't pick up on it, and I had my ring tucked in this thing down in the bottom. And then it got scanned at the airport, and they're like, we have to search your bags. Shanai's like, oh, what's going on? I was like, you just don't, I've got this. I was like,
Nothing.
they're pulling it all out.
You
like,
just carry
oh.
all the luggage. I'm fine.
Spots it, closes back up. Like, you're all good.
Did they see it?
No. Like they saw the box, but they didn't. They knew. They're like, yep,
Yeah,
that's fine.
okay.
We know what's in there from the scanner.
Yeah.
So we got cleared, and I had to practice getting onto one knee because I couldn't bend down at that time. So about 10 minutes prior, Sinead put her hand on my leg, and I thought, oh no, that's the pocket with the ring, and I had my phone. She's like, that's an odd spot to put your phone. So then I had to play swapping the rings in the pocket.
While I'm sitting next to him, he took the ring out of his pocket and put
You
it. And I
didn't-
didn't.
I hadn't-
Having such a good time. You're
having such a
oblivious
good
to it.
time.
hadn't practiced dropping to the other knee.
I thought you looked a bit sweaty that night, mate. I mean,
Yeah.
it was hot. But
There's this miraculous photo of me where, and Kerry goes, "Oh my God!" She goes, "You look like that stark face of someone who's about to shit their pants and smile about it."
we'll get the team in post production.
It's the best.
We'll edit the picture in here at this
'Cause
point so we can have a chuckle so
There's
everyone
one
can
of
see
me, and I'm like on my second pina colada, and I'm just having the time of my life because I'm not worried about anything.
Yeah.
And then there's one of Adam, and he's like,
Oh, what if she says no?
Yeah.
So, what was even more surprising was so we had the proposal, which was pretty special. Said yes, which is even more special. And then I reckon we're on Necker Island. So Richard's here. I think he's even ordained. Like, I reckon we should have a wedding. And that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because I remember my point like, oh yeah. And then as soon as like, oh no, like my family are not here, and like people get upset. And I'm like, it's a mock wedding. It's fine.
I was like, I haven't even processed the
Engagement,
proposal,
yeah.
the engagement
Here
letter,
I am, like organising a wedding. I'm like, yes,
And
sweet,
you
I got
really
into
did
wedding.
just like pop up because I think a few of us were just having like drinks, and one of the boys was like, "Oh, how fun would it be to have a wedding?" And then another one was like, "Yeah, Richard Branson's a celebrant." And then you literally pop up and be like, "Yeah, we can do this."
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
I might know a guy.
Yeah, I might know a guy. Like, no, I'm like, leave it with me.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we had Sir Richard. I mean, we'll pop this picture up as well. We had Sir Richard marry you on Necker Island. We made rings out of palm fronds and timbers, and we had a whole
They did a full
arch.
arch,
Yeah,
everything.
we had a whole
They pulled
rocks
it
on the
together.
sand.
It was
and
crazy.
pulled it was
Even
2
did a
days.
blessing. Yeah, even did a blessing in the rock pool.
Yes.
Remember, so Richard sent
Yeah.
the text message, everyone bring your bathers, get down for a hike in
Yeah.
the morning, and then he wanted to do a blessing in the rock
Even
pool.
he even had some quite funny lines that he wrote. It was quite personalised. We was still hoping for a virgin baby, but but it was quite impressive. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool
Yeah.
to be part
It was
of.
very
so.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still like unbelievable. Like I look at the photos and I go, that actually happened to us.
Beautiful
Yeah.
sunset too.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Stunning.
sunset.
It couldn't have been better for our wedding, and we still see that as our wedding.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That's the way we look at it. I know there's some official stuff that has to be done, but that was our wedding, and we couldn't be happier with how it was, who was there, the way it was laid out. It was perfect. We even had G walking Shanai down the aisle.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I'm
It
allowed
was-
to do this, but okay.
Yeah, no, it was perfect.
And man, that was
Thank you.
that was a sandy aisle. That was a bit of a trek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was
the
hot.
calves copper hiding on that sand.
Lucky I got some carbs.
Oh,
That's my only good feature. So, no, it was very special, guys, and it was nice to be part of that and to share that with you guys. That experience was really, really special. So you should be really proud of yourselves. It was really cool. It's I don't think we'll put a couple of photos in here, but I don't think it's something that anyone that was there will ever forget. So well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, what advice would you give for people tuning into this? They're like, oh, we're a similar age and we've had some trauma, or the bank told us no, and blah, 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 you know, family issues, whatever it may be. What advice would you give those couples that are, you know, late 20s, mid 30s, and they're going through it, or, you know, they're robbing Peter to pay Paul, or they think they've done all right and they've got a property or two or an old, like, what's some words of wisdom you could share for those people, separate of Infinity? Because, yeah, oh, cool, we've got plenty of free work, but separate of us, what are some of the things you've learnt along the way or you've had to overcome? What's some words of wisdom you could share with people at home?
I think you've really got to get on the same page as each other. That's definitely been a big help.
Were you on very different pages pre-Goggins?
I wouldn't say extremely different pages, but we never really spoke in depth
Right.
about where we want to go and what the future looks like. We spoke about future and all that, but it wasn't really the depth that we do now. Like at dinner,
Having those conversations is important.
Yeah.
Even early in the relationship, late in the relationship, doesn't matter. Those conversations of your goals, and you have your little goals and your small stuff individually, sure. But when it comes to the big stuff, the life, the where, the aspirations, the children, everything like that, you need to have those conversations. You need to know for the compatibility part, but also where you may need to pick up for your partner because they're busting balls somewhere else. And I feel as though we've forgotten how to communicate. And the one thing that I've really appreciated through with Infinity is teaching us again how to communicate with our partners, because that changes everything. You can't read the mind. You think they're angry for something, but they don't know what you don't know, and they're not a fucking mind reader to be able to know what you need. So to
say it. Use your words.
Yes,
Say it.
communicate your needs.
Yeah.
And that will change the way you show up in your relationship, because you go, I'm tired, I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted. Can you do this for me? Yes, I can. So those early things about the communication are key, but you also need to humble up and get out of your own fucking way. So many of us will stand there and I'm good at my job in this. That doesn't mean it translates into every other part of your life.
Yep.
So as you would say, let the baker bake. And a lot of us
It's not easy. You were able to sit there that day and go, shit, I thought I was all over this and we've got some I feel personally attacked now. The crowd's gone silent. Shit, I'm doing it wrong. Most people are too stubborn or and ego can be a good thing, can be a bad thing, but if you hold too much ego of, I know boats, I know what I'm doing, you can't get out of your own way. And like you say, you can be a great engineer, you can be a great personal trainer, nutritionist, doctor, so doesn't mean you're great with money.
No,
And
100%.
better, even worse, doesn't mean that combined as a team, teammates, doesn't mean you can merge and manage money well together either. Sometimes you need an independent third party.
Yeah, you need the support, and that is key, as well as having that support, having that, I guess, a relationship support, because it's financial, it's everything to do with your life, and finances is such a key component of our lives, and we need it to survive, we need it to grow. Therefore, why wouldn't you take agency over that and seek the professional independent advice? You go to a doctor because you've got an illness, but you don't go get financial support because you don't understand finances. They say what you don't know doesn't hurt you, and most people don't know about financial literacy, and it's fucking killing them. It may be indirect, but it affects their relationship, their drinking, going to the pub with the mates, the neglect with the children, whatever it may be, it's fucking killing them because they don't know financial literacy.
Well said. Well said. What do you think's been the hardest thing? Because you guys are making it sound really, really easy. What have been the hardest 2 or 3 things on the journey? Whether it be budgets, whether it be shopping, activewear. I know, Shanai, at one point you said I had all the set. I'm not attacking you. Whether it be VL Turbo, Commodore
Definitely.
parts, or whether it be... So I'm going to equally attack you.
Activewear
T3 turbo.
before.
'Cause you told me at one point, I think you were on stage, you
I
said,
was on
I had
stage.
every colour of every set of every... And I was like,
I
really?
had like 120
The
pairs
spare
or something. It was
room
ridiculous.
was a wardrobe for her activewear. One
But
whole spare room.
I've actually culled it down. I think I've got like 20 pairs of leggings now.
We even donated them
all
to
I need.
Goodwill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Activewear to Goodwill
Wow.
so that other people...
Because I don't need that many. But no, I
That
don't
would
know.
give me decision fatigue about what set to wear. I mean, I wouldn't fit any of them, but like to think of, oh, which ones am I going to wear? And I'm like, black shirt, black hat, pair of jeans, I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, in terms of what's been hard, I don't know.
I would say at the start was overcomplicating it. We went into it and, sensory overload. You got all this information. We're taking on this new thing. How does it fit with life? How does it fit with us? Do we have time? We've got emails. It was overcomplicating how we set up, how we structure. And
Do you think that's almost still a subconscious trust issue? Like it's because it's your money. We can only tell you, right? So we tell you how to manage it. We document it. Here's all your compliance paperwork. But then you still like to, and you see it in our private group, and I'm like, no, let the fucking, just do as you like. And then people are like, yeah, sorry, G, but they still vomit it out and type it. And I'm like, whack. Do you think it's almost that little subconscious control / trust issue that as human beings, we have to feel like we still have a bit of control or overcome, we want to process it our own way. Why do we make it so complicated?
Definitely, I would agree with that. We overcomplicate it in a sense of we want to retain control, and we can't actually accept something we don't understand. Therefore, you've got to take that leap of trust, and if you don't understand it, all of a sudden you start scrambling,
Start bending it and breaking it so you sort of understand it.
And then you start to think that, oh, maybe they meant this. No, just fucking ask.
Yeah.
Like don't start to get ahead of yourself. So we did that at the start, and that's when we reached out to our team and we were like, hey, we think we're overcomplicating this. We need to understand A, B, C, D, and they're like, this is what you've got. You're in full control.
Yeah.
And people probably don't understand that you set your budget. You know what I mean? You know what bills you're coming up. It's up to you to cut Netflix or to cut that gym membership that you never went. You must do that. It's not like you go, here's the keys to the kingdom, please take care of it. You got to take action.
Yep.
And when you start to take action and reclaim that agency on your life and you go, right, I've accepted the support, everything is simple because it makes sense. You're cutting out all the white noise and you're going, now we know. And I think getting to that introductory of the lack of understanding of what's happening right now, that sensory part of it's all new, I don't understand it, to then going, aha, it makes sense. The quicker we transition into that, we were like, wow. We said, we joke because our FFF is called balls to the wall, because that was the moment we went, wow, let's go balls to the wall, because we see it and we understand it.
Actually, the first 3 months, because I'd never had property before, I'd never, so the first 3 months of paperwork and joining bank accounts and doing all the restructure stuff,
making sense of
that
the
was
financial world for
probably
you. Yeah.
the most overwhelming.
Yeah, because you're going from managing your bank account and your savings to paying deposits and talking to solicitors and signing contracts and getting mortgages. It's pretty full on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But that dies down.
Yeah, okay.
The old, as you say, schwinkterpacker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, courtesy of Rosie. Hey, what's the funnest part of the journey? What's the cool stuff? Because no one wants to make budgeting, finances, investing sexy, right? I mean, there's plenty of get-rich-quick gimmick shit out there, but this is a slow, steady thing. So to people, it's a slow, steady patient thing. You need to have a 10-year plus view, right?
Yep.
What's fun along the way? What have you found to be like the most enjoyable bits?
I think meeting people and making like lifelong friends.
Okay.
Like, you know, we've got really good friends from our first REM that we met, and then we've got really good friends from like other REMs that we've been to as well. We keep in contact and always see what they're up to. And
Yeah, the sense of belonging in the community along the way, and being able to actually share that in an open environment.
Yeah.
There's no taboo around the finances, around any of that. And when you can peel that away, you can then focus on what matters, and then you actually really see just how enjoyable life can be. You start to see the opportunities because you're looking at them. It's like the red car fallacy. You know, you can't see it, and if you see a problem, you'll always see the problem because that's where your focus is. And when you actually get to see the enjoyment and you start celebrating with other people, even through the community, of people paying off their home, or they're going to this community event, or they're going there, and you actually get to be a part of that, it is so much fun. It is the best for us to be a part of and see all the smiling faces, seeing the moments that people light up and they actually now believe that this is a life that they can live and that they're worthy of, and there's a way out.
I was going to ask you how the Christmas party was, but you were there on a stick. You were busy working.
I was a doof stick.
Yeah,
there.
and then the doof stick wasn't allowed in. I was
wasn't allowed
devastated. I should have just brought it in on stage.
One key thing I would say that I've enjoyed along the way is the small moments that we take to be present with each other. With our budget and the way it's set up, we set ourselves not quantity of time, quality of time, because we're both very busy, but we now get to have the little, you know, when you're in the schoolyard, kids and that, but you're messaging like for a date night or planning something, like we want to go away for an overnighter and let's do a bit of this and let's work. And we actually take the time to go and set that, and then we'll go on that date. We'll go down the river, or let's go to the movies together. Let's do a Friday night. Let's work towards this. I've found the presence with each other. I've appreciated how much closer, because we spend the time better as a relationship couple.
Quality over quantity.
100%.
I love that. I love that. Well, guys, you should be really bloody proud of yourselves. I am, and it's a really cool journey to be a part of and to watch and to help mould and, you know, bump along the way and keep you in the bumpers. It's really, really special. So I just want to say congrats on behalf of Beck and myself and Michael and the team, and well done. You should be really, really proud of yourselves, and thanks for sharing so much with everyone.
Thank you very much.
thank you for giving us the opportunities that we get.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
You're fucking gone. See ya.